Bonsoir, mon cher. C'est jeudi à soir. It's Thursday Thursday. How's everybody? I'm good. I just got in from work, but I actually didn't come from work. I came from the bar. Tipsy. My friend Cassidy's birthday was tonight, and she has been like setting the buzz all week. Everybody was going, so we all went. We all promised each other that we were all gonna have one drink, and we all had like two. So that was pretty good. But I had wine, so I feel like I have wine teeth now, and like wine lips. That's okay. We're gonna get through this. We're here for our romance reading with the Romance Angels Oracle deck. Today was a really good day. Pretty good night at the restaurant, kind of very similar to last night. So last night it was like very calm, very quiet, and then all of a sudden it was like we turned around and the whole restaurant was full. It was insane. And tonight was kind of the same, but it was like slightly more chill, which was good. I don't know. I think maybe my to be magnetic work is working because I think I can handle more insanity and not feel stressed out, which is pretty awesome. Like it's basically like biohacking your neurological like system and kind of reprogramming your subconscious. So I really can't recommend to be magnetic like highly enough, especially like. Basically, I mean, it's geared toward the goal of manifestation, but really in the process, it's almost like it's like therapy, but deeper and faster and more efficient but the bonus of like magically manifesting things that you want. It's pretty crazy. So even if you're not like say wanting to manifest and you just need to get through a lot of emotional turmoil, or you need to kind of sort through something that you've been through, or maybe you're like, oh, I need to like deal with like my childhood trauma, and maybe like therapy isn't your thing or whatever, or you just feel like you want to go at your own pace. Like I really feel like to be magnetic, like you go so deep into the work, and then the reprogramming that you do is so efficient that it's like you don't have to keep going to a talk therapist like once a week and just keep like drawing over things for an hour at a time. Like you can really like do like months worth of work that you would do like meeting a therapist once a week for an hour, like over the course of a week going through one workshop. It's pretty crazy, and it's not like you fast forward through it so you don't really get to the root of it. It's like you bypass a lot of wasted time, and you go really deep really quickly, so you have those like big epiphanies. It's so effective. Like cannot recommend it enough. And I would say just to get started, just to get your idea, like your mind around like the process and like what it even is, they have a podcast. And their podcast is really awesome. They do episodes they kind of have different structures of episodes. Like some of their episodes are interviews with people who have gone through their workshops, and they tell their story and the process and like how everything played out, and then how all the pieces fit together and how everything fell into place. And it's pretty crazy. And then they'll have episodes with their like psychology experts and their neurology experts and things like that, where they just like break down the science and the process so you understand like the steps better. And then they'll have other experts on that are in the field of like spirituality and wellness and whatnot. But it's definitely really great. It's more science-based than spiritual, but there is a spiritual benefit of it, but it doesn't exclude people who are not like say believers, so to speak. It's very science-based, but there are magical side effects. Warning, may cause magic, may cause miracles. Watch out. But yeah, go check them out. I'm not an affiliate. I need to check to see if I can be, because I sing their praises all the time. But all right. And so what do we need to know about our love life this week? What do we need to know about our romantic lives? So we are coming out of the Libra new moon over the weekend. which was Rosh Hashanah, which unleashed all this raw, like unfiltered, unadulterated energy into us. And now over this week, it's like we're feeling very sensitive, and it's all like, oh, everything's all chaotic and up in the air, and there's like this just like swirling, like almost like nuclear energy around us, right? So what's happening is that we are being tested this week, and not so much so that we can pass tests, but only because we've been given kind of a fresh new soul. And so the tests are coming more because we're so sensitive right now and everything is so fresh and new. And so, you know, things are making us more sensitive. So our fuse is shorter. However, we just unblocked and allowed all of this energy to come through and all of this renewal and cleansing to happen. So we don't want to sort of like get a smudge on our new dress, so to speak. So we're trying to be very careful this week to take our time and not be triggered. And so it wouldn't surprise me if we had some kind of familiar romantic pattern come up, or something that made us feel something that might have challenged us in the past that we're getting to face in a new way as our new selves. And so I have a feeling that this week may not be very straightforward from a romantic lens, that it might ask us to approach something in a new way that will seem challenging at first, but it's really an opportunity to allow us to like meet this new chapter of our lives as our new self. Because that's what it's going to take to embody the transformation, right? It's not enough to like realize things in your mind, right? And it's not enough to sort of like start feeling differently in your body. And it's like, okay, so yeah, now I'm armed with more knowledge and more awareness and more consciousness, and maybe I feel better, but it doesn't really count. It's not really embodied. It's not really part of you until you start taking those different actions, until you start reacting to life differently, until you start reacting and meeting each moment as that new version of yourself, right? So the really important part about grounding all this energy is actually being able to take action from a place of a more elevated, transcended state, right? So we're actually going against our nature and pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone, and we're actually taking the time to examine if our actions are in line with what we're really wanting and what we're really calling in. So like, say you want more intimate relationships with all the people in your life and more deeper, fulfilling relationships, and someone approaches you this week to maybe talk about something, or something comes up, and you have a chance to either get haughty and like push them away, or you could let your defenses down and kind of like open your heart a little bit and be vulnerable, which may not be as easy or as comfortable, right? But if you're wanting those deeper, more fulfilling connections and more intimacy, then you have to show up and be willing to be seen. You have to show up and be willing to put yourself out there and be vulnerable, even in the risk of rejection, failure, absolute ruin, catastrophe. And then, you know, just let the chips fall where they may, but nothing will happen if you don't take that gamble, right? You got to put yourself out there. You got to know when to fold them, know when to hold them. You know that song, right? Okay, Waylon Jennings. Release your ex. Oh my God. Okay, somebody we need to let go of and get over so that we can move on and be open for the next thing to come in. The time has come to clear your energy. Okay, so we have to get over and release those old expectations, the old emotional habits of falling back on that same, you know, person or someone from the past that's like holding you back, that's like preventing you from moving forward. It's finally time to let that person go so that you can just embrace new things to come, new experiences. All right. They can't meet you at your level anymore. Love yourself first. Very sexy Thursty Thursday reading so far. We have get over your ex and just be independent, be by yourself. Don't expect to meet anyone. Just be satisfied alone with yourself. Horrible news. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Yay, love it. Have another bath. Enjoy yourself alone. Yes, so love yourself first. It really is true. I mean, really and truly, you have to get lost in the moment of being in complete joy and satisfaction without someone propping you up to feel that way. Because if you never have that experience of knowing that it doesn't take someone else to make you feel loved or happy or satisfied or fulfilled in life, then you will always be beholden to that. You will always be in a little bit of a golden cage because, you know, when someone starts to rest on their laurels or whatever, they're not showing up the way that they used to, or if they're not meeting, you know, your needs or whatever, it's like you're not going to be as liberated to bring those things up. You're not going to be as brave about possibly like walking away from a situation if you think that you depend on someone for validation, for love, for making you feel worthy or valuable, right? Or like giving your life meaning or purpose. You have to find that on your own in order to really truly be free, right? Because when you're not reliant on anyone for anything, then every interaction is more authentic because you don't have any ulterior motives. You don't have any strings attached. All right. What else do we need to know this week for the good of our love life? Okay, romantic feelings. And very soon, your romantic feelings are real and worth exploring. And very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. Okay, so we definitely need to clear the decks and get clear about what we do not want anymore and what we are finished with. We need to get over the habit of thinking about the ex, the habit of, looking back in any nostalgic way, thinking about like, oh, it was so great when I was with them because we did this and we would do this and that. Don't think about that anymore, right? That is an emotional habit. That is a thought pattern. That is a thought habit. Start imagining a life with someone else, with a faceless stranger, but like fill in the gaps of like those things that you want for yourself. It's just that you don't know who's going to be there yet. But you need to get very clear about what kind of partnership that you want, what kind of relationship you want, what kinds of things that you would want in a partner, all of the aspects, all of the traits and qualities. And then you need to go back and check that list and see, are you those things on that list? Because you're only going to be attracting what is an affinity with you. And so if you're not able to offer the partner that you seek the same thing that you expect of them, then like, who do you think you are? Right? Like, so you have to be the partner that you want first, right? Because like attracts like. So in order to have the self-worth and the be on the level of the person that you want to attract that will be attracted to you, you have to get there first. So think about all the things that you want to attract in a partner, all those characteristics, and then make sure that you go on that list and you say, okay, like, where am I on a scale of 1 to 10 with each of these things? I mean, this is what my Kabbalah teacher David was just mentioning the other day in a video. But yeah, it's like check in with yourself and see like how on a scale of very satisfied to not satisfied, are you bringing all of these qualities to the table, right? Okay, so we are getting over our ex. We have romantic feelings that are valid and worth exploring. And I think it's coming from the fact that like we have been working on loving ourselves more for a very long time. So it's just about getting over like the things that we're holding on to from the past that no longer belong. Really focus in on deep self-love and self-respect. And focusing on doing all of those things that you love doing and that really light you up and make you happy. And that's going to make you more magnetic to draw in someone who's like you in your best state, right? And get clear about that and get clear about what you want, and don't waver, don't fluctuate. Don't be like back and forth about it, because it can come very soon. There's a lot of potential here, but you have to get clear, and you can't be a back and forth and in and out and hot and cold. You have to be consistent and unwavering so that you can sustain the signal and the magnetism long enough to actually call it in and bring it in and then solidify it. All right. I hope that you guys have a successful week at releasing the past and your ex and getting clear on what you want next and loving yourself first and realizing that maybe there's a little crush out there that likes you back. You never know. Something's valid out there. Something's a brewing. All right, y'all. Well, I hope you have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.